I've always wondered, when most car trips are driving around town or getting groceries, why do we need such large cars? Could we get by with smaller cars for most activities? In Bozeman, I saw a smart car dealership as well as an electric car dealership. Curious, I went inside, talked to the owner, and he gave me some test drives.
I'll show you how to run it because it's a little bit different from your regular car.
Okay, we're going to get inside the smart car. Okay.
So, key.
There you go.
Okay, so we've got
This is very spacious.
a safety cell all around us. Unlike those cars that have crumple zones for protection and accidents, this has a race car style roll cage around the whole car. So this is called the Tritium frame, and it in an impact the impact basically is carried through the base of the car, underneath the car. And there's a small crumple zone in the back. The back of the seats are steel. The back of the car has a lot of steel in the back. The doors are reinforced for side impact, so they're much safer than one would think they would be just looking at them. Certainly safer than a Porsche 914 there.
So you're saying it's safer than that car?
Given that an SUV would climb up on that, decapitate you if you got rear-ended, it's certainly safer than this Jeep. And it's a lot safer than most pickup trucks and SUVs, because the problem you have with a pickup truck or an SUV is that you end up losing control of it. You do something stupid, like you're driving around not paying attention. You go over the center line, or a deer jumps out and you overcorrect and you flip the car because they're top heavy. So, that 5,000 pounds of armor that people are using to protect themselves because they're afraid of getting hit by someone else in a big 5,000 pound suit of armor. It's small cars can be safer than big heavy cars. Just big lineup at the new restaurant. But I would rather drive a smart car during slippery winter conditions than your typical SUV. Because you hit the brakes in this thing, it stops.
Can we do an example?
It's as quick as any other car out there, and often quicker.
I bet.
The only thing about a smart car is you sort of have a Napoleon complex when you drive one of these, because you are so tiny, so you want to show off to everyone how fast you can go. The smart car is very light, and it's very agile. It has a rear engine and has a rear wheel drive. That weight over the rear wheel drive gives it really good traction. It also has traction control, computer operated. It has ABS brakes for stopping straight through.
Okay. That's amazing. So there's a foot of snow on the ground. What do you do with this thing?
Yeah, a foot of snow on the ground. You put your key in the ignition, start it up, and just roll right over the snow. It has a much wider rear wheel and tire than the front.
Wait a minute. I can't do that in my Civic or my sometimes you can't do that in your SUV. You're saying in this car you can drive over a foot of fresh snow.
Yeah. You want to put snow tires on it. Definitely need snow tires on a smart car in the wintertime. But it's such a light car and so agile. It's about half the weight of your typical passenger car, and the ABS brakes, the traction control, all the computer functions are monitoring slip and spin. And with grabby snow tires like, say, Blizzaks, which I prefer to put on these, it just goes. And if you have a 2-car garage, all of a sudden you've got a 4-car garage. It increases the property value of your house.
4-car, excellent. Ooh, electric cars are not for wimps.
Let's see what we can do here.
All right. Yeah! And what is the equivalent miles per gallon of this car?
The equivalent miles per gallon of this car is 245 miles to the gallon. When you do the equivalency of the kilowatt cost generated locally here by Northwestern Energy, and you compare that to the cost of a gallon of gas, 245 miles to the gallon.